Alright, this screencast is about using the quick selection tool in Photoshop. You've probably been wondering why I use the magic wand so much, since the quick selection tool seems to do sometimes even a better job. Well, I think you're probably right, at least partially. But I think my main point is that when you're making selections, you have to be prepared to use multiple selection tools, not just one. So sometimes I use the lasso, sometimes the magic wand, sometimes the quick selection tool, and a lot of times I use those in combination to get the selections that I want. Well, I'm going to use the quick selection tool here, and my objective here is to cut out my subject so that I can place my subject in another program such as PowerPoint. Now to use the quick selection tool, you just click and drag around your subject, and it does a nice job of wrapping around my subject in this case. Alright, now I did miss an area by the wrist. We'll come back to that later. I'm going to hold down my shift key so I can maintain my current selection, add to it. And then I'll go down. But now you see perhaps why I don't always use the quick selection tool. Notice that it didn't do a good job here by the ear and by the shirt. But it can be fixed pretty easily. I'll click on the Alt key and I can restore the ear. Not too bad. And I'll restore this area of the shirt. Okay, and then I'm going to hold down my shift key again and see if I can get this little area by the wrist. Snap. That's pretty close. Might cut into the wrist a little bit, so here's an example where I might need to use another tool. So I'm going to try the lasso tool to fix this up just a hair. Oh, and I got to press Alt. Okay, and I seem to be missing a little bit, but for my purposes, I'll just stay with that. All right, and like I said earlier, my purpose here is to cut out the subject and not take the background. And I'm going to put the subject in a different program, such as PowerPoint. So I have to select the subject, not the background. So I'll go up to Select Inverse, and then I'll select, then my subject is selected. All right, the next step would be to Edit Copy, and then go File New. And just agree with it, just go OK. You'll notice that the box, or the document size, is skinnier, and that's because Photoshop knows that the area needed to put the subject in, this is the only area needed to do that. And then I'll go Edit Paste. All right. Okay, so now I have a new document that's untitled. I have a background layer that's white, and I've got my subject cut out. If I shut off my eyeball in the background layer, you'll see that there's a checkerboard, and that means that that area is now transparent. There's nothing in it, and that's what I want. I just want the subject, not the background. Now, you just can't simply always copy and paste from here into the program. You probably need to save this, because you need to save actually this background as a transparent layer, and there's a specific way to do this. You'll want to go File, Save As. I'm going to call this Z2. I think I have a copy already. And I don't want you saving as a JPEG. If you save as a JPEG, then the background is going to be filled with white and not stay transparent. So I want you to save as PNG. This is a critical step. You have to save as a PNG so that only the subject transfers over. I believe TIFF works as well, but I'm going to go PNG. And I'll click Save. Oh, but you know what? We should do one more thing before we save it as a PNG. Hang on. I failed to look to see how large this image was. And that's a pretty crucial step. So I'm going to go Image, Image Size. And here's why this is so crucial. Our digital cameras have capture so many megapixels that our pictures are larger than we realize. According to Photoshop, this image is 32 inches by 42 inches. Excuse me, 32 by 48. Huge, way too big. So you can either cut it down by percent or pixel points or inches. I'm just going to leave it as inches. I'm going to turn this down to 10 inches. That's probably too big as well, but it'll be a little bit easier to work with. And resolution 72 is probably fine. Sometimes I like to change that at 150, but you can leave it at 72. It's still a fairly large image, but nowhere near what it was. It was 23 megabytes big. Now it's just 9 megabytes. So be careful. Don't forget, like I just did, to check the image size before you bring these images to other programs. So I'll click OK. Notice it shrinks it. And now I'll go File, Save As. So I'm going to call this one Zane 3. And I'm going to go PNG. And I'll save it. Click OK. All right, while it's saving, I'm going to stop the video here. Part 2 will be bringing this photo into another program.